John, the 10th chapter. I want to look at the second half of Jesus' discussion here with those around him on this afternoon. And the next part in the series we've been calling Scoreboard as we look at these statements that Jesus made. One of the things you discover if you look at the Word of God is that God isn't one much for debate. He simply states the facts and moves on. Him and old Sergeant Friday from Dragnet would have got along fine. You remember Friday, he always would say, just the facts, ma'am. And if you look at the Bible starts out in Genesis. It just simply says, there was God. He doesn't debate God, doesn't explain God, doesn't ask your opinion of God. He just says that in the beginning God began to do these things and begins to move on. If you come to the Gospel of John, it does the same thing. In the beginning was the Word. No real discussion, no debate. There it is, take it or leave it. And so that's by and large the way that the Word of God presents itself. It says, here is the truth. Again, as Christ said, I am the way, the truth, and the life. And there it is. I am the way. You either follow me or you don't. I am the truth. You're either with me or you're not. And so the Word of God is pretty straightforward and lays out the case. And in this story, and with these claims of Christ, Christ does the same thing. He says, I am the bread. I am the way, the truth, and the life. I am the door of the sheep. I am the good shepherd. Is the statement that he makes that we look at this morning. And he puts it out there and he says, here it is. Do with it what you will. Accept it, reject it, whatever you want. But here is my claim. I am the good shepherd. Now, when he makes that statement, 5 simple words that are literally irreplaceable. When you take these 5 words and look at what Christ claims here when he says, I am the good shepherd. He makes a statement that is so simple, but yet so complex. When he says, I am. Again, the crowd that was gathered there that heard him make that statement would have understood immediately what he was saying, that he was using the same word, the same terminology that the Father had used back at the burning bush when Moses said to the Lord, said, who will I tell the Israelites, who will I tell Pharaoh has sent me? And God said from that burning bush, he said, tell them, I am send you. And so they would have heard, I am. The good shepherd. That's what they would have heard when they heard, I am the good shepherd. He doesn't say, I am a good shepherd. I am one of the good shepherds. He says, I am the good shepherd. That, again, is a word that you don't have to know Greek. You don't even have to know a great deal about English to understand what he says. When he says, I am the good shepherd. Again, that is an arguable statement. He just lays it out. There it is. And then he says, the good shepherd. Now, the beauty of that simple statement is one that you and I we may not quite catch up on. We understand good. We know the difference in good and evil, good and bad. We know the difference in those two words. But again, a lot like the word love that we talk about sometimes when we look at the Word of God, we know that in English we use the word love kind of in a rather unique way. We will put the word love in a lot of sentences. I love chocolate. I love my dog. I love my kids. I love my job. I love my particular football team or baseball team. We love a lot of things, and most of us are smart enough that when we hear somebody say, I love Mama, and we hear somebody say, I love the Panthers, we understand the difference. We know that there is a difference in that love. And the Greeks would have had a different word. They had several different words for love, and they would have used a different word based on what they meant. I like the Panthers, or you are my friend, or I love you. And the word good here is one that, to be honest with you, we use a lot the same way. There are a lot of things that are good in our life. We might sit down and eat a meal and say, man, this is a really good steak. We might go to a church service and say, man, the choir did a really good job this morning. Or, we might, go to a ball game and say that was a good ball game. And I think all of us kind of know the difference in those statements. And then we may go so far as to say, well, he is a good person. And we understand there's a difference in a good ball game and a good person. We know that they're just by the context of the sentence, by the statement. We know that they're talking about something different. And even then, we may not completely understand. Jason may say, well, that was a good game. And to him, that means that his team won by 50. I may say it was a good game, and to me, that means it was a close game, and it came down to a last-second score to determine who won. And so good is one of those words that's kind of, it's all kind of in the eye of the beholder. Somebody will walk up and whip out a picture of their wife or their children or something and say, isn't she pretty? And you're like, yeah. And so, it's all in the eyes of the beholder. And good is a lot that way. You might walk up to Tommy today and say, Tommy, it's a good day, isn't it? And Tommy might say, no, it's terrible. And yet to you it's good. And so good is a moving target. But the word good that is used here really isn't a moving target at all. The word, when he says, I am the good shepherd, the word that he uses there is a word that, again, another thing about good that all of us know is something, you know that something can go from good to bad just like that, right? It can start out as a good song and right in the middle of, just terrible. It can start out as a good sermon, it can start out as a good day and, just immediately take a turn. Good is one of those things that, that all of us, we work at. That there's not a parent in here that at some point in raising their children hasn't said to their child, maybe they took them to the babysitter or took them to school or something, and when they dropped them off, they looked at them and said, what? You be good. Why do we tell them to be good? Because we know they have the potential to not be. We know that in them is the ability to not be good. In all honesty, we know that given just free rein, that in all likelihood, they won't be good. That's just, some of y'all are looking at your children. You know that in them is the inherent ability to be anything but good. You never have to tell your children, now here, when you go to school today, I want you to be bad. You don't, do you? You don't have to tell them that. Nobody has ever told you, now here's what I want you to do. I want you to be bad. No, we've all had to be told to be good. Do a good job. Be good. We have to be encouraged to be good because in us is the ability, the natural tendency, if you will, to be bad, to do bad. I saw a sign the other day that said the only reason that some people are still alive is because it's against the law to shoot them. It's in our nature to be bad. That's just the way we're born. Listen, that's a biblical fact. We are born in sin. All have sinned and come short of the glory of God. That is a biblical fact. That's just not my observation or my opinion. That is a biblical fact. All of us, we have to be told to be good, not to be bad. Nobody taught you to lie. No one taught you to steal. It's just, boom, it's just our nature, our sinful nature. But the word that Christ uses here, when he says, I am the good shepherd, doesn't mean that someone has told him to be a good shepherd. The word that he uses there is just the opposite. It means that just like it is in our nature to be bad, it is in his nature to be good. The word that he uses there means that he is inherently the good shepherd. He knows no other way to be but to be the good shepherd. He knows no other way. He knows no other method except to be good. That's what he says there. He says, I am the good. He says, that's the only way I know to be. I don't know of another way. And then he says the good what? The good shepherd. Now, you and I today, Most of us, we've kind of moved past the idea of tending animals. Some of you may have at some point in your life, but we've seen enough cowboy movies. We've read enough books. We know what a shepherd is. We know their function. We know that their job is to take care of the animals, to feed the animals, to tend the animals, to mend the animals when they're sick, when they're hurt. We know what a shepherd is. And so Christ says here, I am the good shepherd. And every one of those words matters. I am. He's identifying himself with God. The, not a, not one of. I am the good, not mediocre, not trying to be good, not almost good. I am the good, only one, shepherd. He says, that's my job. And so it's amazing when you take this statement and any one of those words you remove totally changes. I am a good shepherd. I am good. Good what? And so every one of these words is extremely important in this statement. I am the good shepherd. Now, when we take that statement, I want to take that statement this morning and I want to kind of pull it apart with a little bit of reasoning, with a little bit of logic. I believe Sherlock Holmes, in his books, was one of the first ones to really introduce us to this kind of thinking, this kind of logic. And it simply is the idea that if I walk into this room, and when I walk up here, and laying on this pulpit is a plate with a slice of apple in that